In the last lecture, we have seen these minimum spanning trees. First, we went through the spanning trees. What are the spanning trees? These are the uh, subset of undirected graph. It is an undirected graph, and these dark lines is the subset of all these graph, and they are connected by minimum number of edges, but they are visiting all the nodes. Okay, it is the spanning tree. In then the minimum spanning tree, it deals with the weighted graphs. Weights are given, and minimum should be the total cost of spanning tree. That is, we call it as minimum cost spanning tree. And to derive that, calculate that minimum cost spanning tree, we have Prim's algorithm and Kruskal's algorithm. Prim's algorithm is we randomly pick one node of the graph, and from that we calculate which is the lowest or minimum value we are going through in the graph. Then from A, here it was 1 and 2, so we took A to D, which is 1. Then uh, from D to B it is 2, D to C it is 3, so we took D to B, which is 2. And then from B or from D we can start from anywhere. From B, if we start, then it will be a cycle, and C node will not be uh, covered there. So we came to D, and from D to C is there, and its value is 3. So it is the minimum cost spanning tree. It is 1 plus 2 plus 3 is equal to 6. Its value is 6. Okay. Here we have seen the example for that also. We started from 1, then 1 to 3, and 1 to 2. 1 to 2 is 5. So we will go for 1 to 3, which is 2. Then from 3, we went for 3 to 2, which is 2. Then it is a thing that we can go from anywhere, means from 2 or from 3, but we got the minimum uh, cost of the edge from 3. So here we go 3 to 4, which value is 3. Then again from 4, we can go to this 2 to 5 or to 7. But from 4 to 5, it's a 2. Okay, it's a 2. So we went here for 5. Then from 5 to 7, minimum value is 5, because this one is already covered. And 5 to 6 is 8, which is maximum. But 5 to 7 is 5, which is minimum. So we went for 5 to 7. Then from 7 to 8. Okay, because it formed a cycle, and we had to visit this node. So from 7 to 8, it's a 2. Now from 8 to 6, okay, it's a 3, and 6 to 9, it's a 4. It's a Prim's algorithm. We started from node. Okay, what is the difference between Kruskal's algorithm then? Kruskal's algorithm deals with ages. The minimum age it refers. Okay, means first it took 7 to 6, it came as 1. Then 6 to 5, which is 2, and 2 to 8, which is also 2. Then what is next? Next is 4. 0 to 1 is there, and 2 to 5 is also there for value 4. There we checked for the uh, There we check for cycling and all. Okay, we have to consider always the values which does not form the cycle. Here are all the stages we are going through. We first took this 7 to 6 with value 1, then took 8 to 2. 8 to 2, where it is? Here it is 8 to 2, it is also 2. Then 6 to 5, 6 to 5 is also 2. Then 0 to 1, it is 4. Next minimum value. Then 2 to 5. 2 to 5, it's not containing the cycle, so it we took this also. Then age 8 to 6, we consider here age 8 to 6. Since including this age results in the cycle, discard it. 8 to 6 is forming the cycle. This 7, 6 and 8, this cycle will be there. So 8 to 6 we are not taking. Okay. Then 2 to 3. 2 to 3 is next minimum value, which is 7. It is not forming any cycle. We are taking this. Then age 7 to 8. 7 to 8. Here it is again forming the cycle. So we are not going for this one. Then 0 to 7. This one 0 to 7. Value is next minimum value, that is 8. Not forming the cycle. We are going for this one. Then 1 to 2. 1 to 2 is next minimum cycle value, 1 to 2, but it is resulting in cycle. 1 to 2 we are resulting in cycle, so we are discarding it. Then 3 to 4. 3 to 4 is 9 and no cycle is formed, so we are we have derived the spanning tree from the given graph. Okay, so here we have used the Kruskal's algorithm, which deals with the edges. Number of nodes are there, then number of nodes minus 1 is the number of edges here in the spanning tree. Okay, the only property is that there should not be any cycle. We have to, when forming the spanning tree, we have to keep it in mind. Okay. Then we went for optimal storage on TEPS. What it is now, optimal storage on TEPS. One tape is there, number of programs are there, and number of programs are having length, different lengths for different programs. Means P1's length is L1, P2's length is L2, and up to program PN, its length is LN. Okay, so what the problem occurs here is, means what the problem scenario here is, we have to minimize the mean retrieval time. We have to put the programs on the tape such that its retrieval time should be minimum. Okay, mean retrieval time should be minimum. Now what mean the retrieval time is? Mean the retrieval time of n program is the average time required to retrieve any program. It is required to store programs in order such that their mean retrieval time is minimum. What the mean retrieval time is? Average time required to retrieve any program. Average time. Okay. Now, how MRT is computed here? The length of first length of programs divided by number of programs. Okay, sum of length of programs divided by number of programs will be the mean retrieval time. Okay. Now optimal storage on tape is minimization problem, in which what we have to minimize is minimize I is equal to, means I runs from 1 to n, k runs from 1 to I, lk subjected to this one. I is equal to I runs from 1 to n, li less than or equal to l. Means length of programs should be less than or equal to length of tape. L is what? L is length of whole tape on which we are putting the programs. Okay. But that should be the maximum limit for length of programs. All length of programs, sum of all length of programs should be less than or equal to L, that is length of tape. Okay. What we have to minimize this function. Summation I runs from 1 to n, summation k runs from 1 to I, lk. Okay. Means length of all programs we have to minimize, subjected to length of all programs, sum of length of all programs should be less than or equal to length of tape. Now here it is. We are considering storage on single tape. How it is, we will go through it. In this case, we have to find the permutation of the program order, which minimizes the mean retrieval time after storing all programs on single tape only. Okay, here multiple tapes and single tape. Single tape means only on one tape we are going to place the programs such that the programs minimum mean retrieval time should be minimum. Okay, there are many permutations of programs. Each gives a different mean retrieval time. Consider three programs P1, P2, P3 with a length of L1, L2, L3 is equal to 5, 10, and 2. Now here we have considered three programs which are P1, P2, and P3. For then length of program P1 is 5, length of program P2 is 10, and length of program P3 is 2. Okay, we have taken this for the example. What we will do here next is, let's find the mean retrieval time for different permutations. 6 permutations are possible for 3 items. 6 sequences will be there as we considered the 3 programs. Okay, 3 factorial, that is 6, 3 into 2 into 1. So you know the permutations. 3 items are there, so 6 sequences will be there, that is 3 factorial. 3 factorial is 6, 3 into 2 into 1. What those will be? Those are given in this table. The mean retrieval time for each permutation is listed in the following table. It should be observed from the above table. We'll see this table first. The first ordering is P1 plus P1, P2, and P3. Now see here how the ordering is considered here. See how the lengths are considered. P1 ची लेंथ आहे 5. ओके, P2 ची लेंथ आहे 10. But why it is taken 5 plus 10? Because after executing this P1 with length 5, then and then only this P2 will be executed. Then its retrieval time will be 5 plus 10 is equal to 15. Yes or no? Getting? Why it is taken as 5 plus 10? Because After execution of P1 with length 5, then P2 has to wait for P1 to be executed because they are on the single tape. सिंगल टेपवर आहे ते. P1 एक्झिक्यूट झाल्याशिवाय P2 होऊ शकत नाही. मग P2 ला वेटिंग मध्ये जायला लागणार आहे. ओके, सो 5 plus 10. Okay, and for P3 what it is? 5 plus 10 plus 2. It is means after completion of P2, P3 will get executed. So this one 5 plus 10 for P2, and for P3 it's 2. So P1, P2 and P3, these are in this sequence. What the term comes here? 15 plus 5 it's 20, and 12 plus 5 is 17. 20 plus 17 divided by 3 becomes 37 by 3. Okay, it becomes 37 by 3. Same for P1, P3, P2. P1 is 5, P3 is 5 plus 2. Okay, and P2 is 5 plus 2 plus 10. So 5 plus 7 plus 17. It becomes 29 by 3. Okay, next is this one. Next sequence is P2, P1, P3. What the P2 is? It is 10. Then P1 has to wait for 10 plus its length. Its length is 5. 10 plus 5 is 15. Plus 10 plus 5 plus 2. What it is? It is 17. Okay. How it will go for 10 plus 15 plus 17? It becomes 42 divided by 3. The next is P2, P3, P1. P2 is 10. Then waiting time for retrieval time for P3 is 10 plus 2, that is 12. And for P1 it is 10 plus 2 plus 5, that is 17. Wholly it becomes 39 by 3. Okay. Next is P3, P1 and P2. Okay. This is the sequence. For P3 it will take time 2. Then for P1 it will take time 2 plus 5, that is 7, plus this P2 will take the time 2 plus 5 plus 10 is means 17, and 17 plus 7, it's 24 plus 2 is equal to 26 divided by 3. Okay, and last sequence is P3, P2 and P1. For P3 time is 2, for P2 2 plus 10, and for P1 it's 2 plus 10 plus 5, which is 17. Okay, so what we are getting here is the minimum mean retrieval time. Okay, then this is the sequence where we are getting the minimum retrieval time, that is 26 by 3. Okay, this will be the small number, 26 by 3. Okay, it should be observed from the above table that the mean retrieval time is 26 by 3, which is achieved by storing the programs in ascending order of their length. Now we can see here the programs are there in the ascending order of their length. 2, 5, 10, L3, L1 and L2 here. P3, P1 and P2. Programs are there in the ascending order of the length. Means the smallest program should be at the first and largest program should be at the last place on that single tape. This greedy algorithm stores the program on tape in non-decreasing order of their length, which ensures the minimum MRT. Non-decreasing order means same, it's ascending order. लहान नंबर आधी आणि मोठा नंबर सगळ्यात शेवटी, which is non-decreasing. Mean retrieval time. It is storage on single tape. Okay. It is the algorithm for Am I audible? Is it visible to you all? Okay. Algorithm is there. Let L be the array of program length in ascending order. Then the greedy algorithm finds the mean retrieval time as following. Already the array contains program in the ascending order, means smallest program at the first place and largest program at the last place, and mean according to that all the programs are placed on the tape. Okay, so what it is here, description, what is given here, find storage order of n programs to such that mean the retrieval time is minimum. Now we know that the programs are there in ascending order, then it is going to come there as the minimum mean retrieval time. The TJ is the retrieval time for jth job, which is already assigned to 0. Then for I equal to means 1 to n do, and then the second for loop is used as j equal to 1 to I do. TJ is assigned to TJ plus length of j. Okay, means TJ 0 ला असाइन केलेला आहे पहिल्यांदा, त्याची व्हॅल्यू प्रत्येक वेळेस इन्क्रीज होत जाणार आहे. कशाने जाणार आहे, जो कुठला जॉब आपण कन्सिडर करणार आहोत त्या जॉबच्या लेंथने. एल ऑफ जे मीन्स that length of that job which we are considering. Okay, so TJ plus L of J. TJ is assigned as TJ plus L of J, and here it is end of both the for loops. And what the mean retrieval time is, TJ divided by n, it will give us the minimum time. Okay, here primitive operation in above algorithm is the addition of program length, which is enclosed within two loops. Okay, only what it is there, it is there only the length of programs are added in that TJ. Okay, means in the retrieval time only the length of programs are added as they are getting executed. Only two for loops are used for that thus the algorithm runs in big of n square time, because two for loops are there, n into n comparisons and n into n uh, operations will be there. So what the time complexity for this algorithm will be big O of n square. Okay. Now example here taken is storage. Next bit we are going to see here is, for example, storage on multiple taps. Okay. Now this is the problem of minimizing mean retrieval time on retrieval of the program from multiple taps. Okay, this is the problem of minimizing mean retrieval time on retrieval of the program from multiple taps. Instead of a single tape, programs are to be stored on multiple tapes. Greedy algorithm solves this problem in a similar way. It sorts the programs according to increasing length of program and stores the program in one by one in each tape. Okay. The working of this approach is explained in the following example. See here, what it is saying. The same process is followed for the multiple types. The programs are arranged in such a way that small length of programs are at the first place, and uh, the order gets increased and the largest program is at the last place. Okay. So in this slide, we can see the given data, which is there. PID denotes the programs and LID denotes their uh, length. Okay, it is all the given data here. Given in this set, store them on three types. It is already given in the program. Store them on three types and minimize mean retrieval time. Okay, here what we have to do is minimize the retrieval time. It is the given data. P1 is supposed 12, P2 is 34, P3 is 56, P4 is 73, P5 is 24, and like that. Okay. Now, what is there in the next slide? First, sort the programs in increasing order of their size. So, sorted data is, we can see here, the minimum length of program is 11 and program is P6. Then 12 is there, then P1 will be there. Like that. After 12, what it is there? I think 24 is there, P5. Then after 24, it is 34. For 34 again, two programs are there, P2 and P7 and P11. Three programs are there. So we will take them one by one, P2, P7 and P11. Then 56 P3, 56 is also two times. Then like this P3 and P8. Then P4 73, P9 78, P10 91 and P12 91. Okay. Here what we have do, we have sorted the data, smallest at the first place and largest at the last place. And now distribute the files among three types. How? We have three types, type 1, type 2 and type 3. Now what we are doing, see here. Okay. We will distribute one by one. एक एक घ्यायचं आणि प्रत्येक टेपवर ठेवायचं. P6 on tape 1, P1 on tape 2, P5 on tape 3. Okay. Then next what it is, P2 on tape 1, P7 on tape 2, P11 on tape 3. Then we'll go again for the tape 1. P13 on tape 1, P3 on tape 2, P8 on tape 3. Then P4. P4 is on tape 1. P9 is on tape 2. And P10 is on tape 3. Okay, and lastly, only remains is the P12 program. It will be on tape 1. Okay, so here we have placed the programs on 3 tapes. Here it will minimize the here it will minimize the mean retrieval time. How it will go for here. This one in the same manner we have Yogeshri. Mute yourself. Tape 1 mean retrieval time will be 11 plus 34 plus 11 plus 34 plus 45 and like this. Okay, what we are going to do is length of P6 plus length of P2 plus length of P3 plus length of P13 plus length of P4 plus length of P12. Okay, but it's not only the length, it's about the retrieval time. Means for here retrieval time of P6 for this one. For this one, retrieval time of P6 plus retrieval time of P2. For this, retrieval time of P6 plus retrieval time of P2 plus retrieval time of P13. Then again, for this one, retrieval time for P6 plus retrieval time for P2 plus retrieval time for P13. Okay, and retrieval time of this P4. And what is the last one? Length, sum of length of all these plus length of P12. Okay, here it comes as 563 divided by 5. Same for tape 2, only 4 jobs are there, 4 programs are there on tape 2. So we calculated like this, it became 85. Same on tape 3, it's 4 programs are there, and according to their length, we calculated the retrieval time and then divided by number of programs, we came there for the mean retrieval time. Now mean retrieval time for whole system, what it will be? Minimum retrieval time of tape 1 plus minimum retrieval time for tape 2 plus minimum retrieval time for tape 3. Okay, here by mistake it is 333. You have to consider it as 1, 2 and 3. Okay, then it's divided by 3, mean retrieval time of all these times divided by 3. It is equal to 95.28. Okay, 95.20 is the mean retrieval time, which is minimum for the whole system given. If in this manner the programs are there on the multiple tapes, then and then only it is giving the minimum retrieval time. Okay, minimum mean retrieval time, not only minimum retrieval time, it's a mean retrieval time which we have to minimize. Okay, here it is on the storage on multiple tapes. Did you get it? Then next point we are going to see is optimal merge pattern. Okay, after optimal storage on tapes, we are dealing with optimal merge pattern. What is there? We can see one by one. Merge unsorted sequences of different lengths into one sequence while minimizing reads. Okay, what we have to do there, what the merge problem is, optimal merge problem is, we have to means we are given unsorted array. It's it's a unsorted sequence of different lengths into one sequence minimizing rates. Means we have to merge the sequences in such manner that the reads should be minimized. Any two sequences can be merged at a time. At each step, the two shortest sequences are merged. Okay, two shortest sequences we are going to consider here, and we have to merge those. Okay, now what will be there? See, consider three sorted lists L1, L2, and L3, and their sizes are L1 is 30, L2 is 20, and L3 is 10. Okay, respectively, these are the lengths of lists L1, L2, and L3. Okay, so these are the size of those lists. Two-way merge compares elements of two sorted lists and put them in new sorted list. If we first merge list L1 and L2, it does 30 plus 20 is equal to 50 comparisons and creates a new array L dash of size 50. Okay. And L3 can be merged with uh, okay, L dash and L3 can be merged with 60 plus 10 is equal to 70 comparisons that forms a sorted list L of size 60. Thus, total number of comparisons required to merge lists L1, L2 and L3 would be 50 plus 70 is equal to 120. Okay, first what we did there, merged L1 and L2, that became 50. Okay, 30 plus 20, we have 30 plus 20 is equal to 50. So 50 comparisons are there, and we what did we do there? We created a new array L dash of size 50. Okay, L dash is 50. Now L dash and L3 can be merged with uh, 60 plus 10. It is not 60, it's a 50. Okay, L dash is of 50. It's by mistake here. So L dash is 50 and L3 is 10. Then again, L dash and L3 will be merged, and 50 plus 10 is equal to 60 comparisons will be there, and L, that is total list, will be sorted with the size of 60. Okay, thus the total number of comparisons required to merge lists L1, L2 and L3 would be 50 plus 60 is equal to 110. Okay, how it is 50? L1 and L2 are merged, 30 plus 20 is equal to 50. And this merging of L1 and L2, it was like L dash. Okay, and L dash is of size 50 now, and L dash and L3 are merged with 50 plus 10 is equal to 60 comparisons are there. And now the total comparisons we could do is 50 plus 60 is equal to 110. Okay, 110 comparisons will be there. Then alternatively, first merging L2 and L3 does 20 plus 10 is equal to 30 comparisons. Here 20 plus 10, that is 30 for merging lists L2 and L3. Then which creates L dash of size 30. Now merge L1 and L dash, which will which does 30 plus 30 is equal to 60 comparisons to form a final sorted list L of size 60. Yes or no? Yes, it's L2 and L3 is 20 plus 10 is equal to 30, and that 30 comparison should be compared with L1, which is also 30. So 30 plus 30 are the all comparisons we could do. Okay, so is equal to 60. And what we have to do is we have to here L is created with 60 comparisons, and now the total comparisons will require are these one. 30 plus 60 is equal to 90. Okay, here we took the sequence L1, L2 and L3, it was 110, but when we took this sequence like L2, L3 and then L1, it became 90, means it minimized. Okay, in both cases final output is identical, but first approach does 110 comparisons, whereas second does only 90. Goal of optimal merge pattern is to find a merging sequences which results into minimum number of comparisons. Okay, there should be for any type of problem, minimum number of comparisons should be there. Okay, the working principle of optimal merge patterns can easily be implemented with mean heap data structure. Okay, now what this is? Optimal merge pattern काय आहे? It easily be implemented with mean heap data structure. Do you know heap in data structure? Have you studied heap? Have you gone through heap data structure? See what is there in the heap. Parent is always smaller than its child. Okay. Child nodes are greater than parent nodes, is known as heap, mean heap data structure. Thus, root of mean heap always contain minimum element. Yes, because parent node is root of that tree or graph, we can say for that. And child nodes are, you know, tree data structure. Parent node is root node and other are the child nodes. And what is there in mean heap? It is parent is always smaller than its child. So root of heap always will contain the minimum element. Okay, a minimum element means smaller element will be there. Okay, for the mean heap data structure. Using mean heap, we can retrieve minimum element in the constant time, and insertion in minimum heap takes big of log n time. It also this algorithm also goes in a linear way. So it will take the time complexity of log n, big O of log n. What the algorithm is, see here. S is set of sequences. Create mean heap H from S. H is what? It is heap. Okay. While H dot length is greater than 1. Okay. Now H dot length means minimum of, length of that heap is greater than 1. What it will do in that case, mean 1 will be assigned to mean of H. Okay. Or that is, what is that mean del of H? Mean del is the function that returns minimum element from heap and delete it from heap. Okay. What that mean del will do, it will take the minimum element and that will assign to mean one. Okay. And it will delete from that element from H. Then what will be there? Mean 2 will be assigned with mean del of H now. Okay. Mean 1 will be assigned with mean del of H. Mean 2 will be assigned with mean del of H. What the next statement is? New node dot data is equal to mean 1 plus mean 2. Here, as we have taken L2 and L3 at the first. Okay, so here addition is done, that 20 plus 10 is equal to 30. Like that, it is going to store the addition of these two, mean 1 and mean 2. And here it will store in new node. Okay, what is mean 1? Mean 1, smallest element from heap, and then again deleted it. The next smallest element from heap will be there in mean 2. Okay, so minimum 1 and mean 2, their addition is stored in new node dot data now. Okay, then new node dot left child will be minimum 1, mean 1, and new node dot right child will be mean 2. Okay, and the last is insert new node H, means whatever the elements are there from H, that will be inserted into new node. What this is saying, I will show you on whiteboard. So here it is. Suppose this is the heap data structure. Okay. Like this. What it is H. Mean heap is now what it is. Means parent is here, root node is minimum. Smallest is the parent. Okay. And the child nodes are greater one. What this will do means that mean del function will pick this up and put there in the mean one. It will put this into mean one. Okay. Then it will take next minimum there, and then again it will put into mean 2. Okay, then what that new node will contain? New node will contain now mean 1 plus mean 2. Okay, that already we have done in the example that we have seen. This new node is mean 1 plus mean 2, and like that it is going to add this one. Okay, and what this is saying, what that algorithm is saying, this is new node dot left child will be minimum mean 1, means, and right child will be assigned as mean 2. Okay, it is Kalloc-Malloc function like structure, means here one means a swap function will be there used, swapping will be there. Okay, like that. And here insert node, new node in heap again. First it is taking the minimum data from this heap data structure, getting the two minimum data from the heap data structure, adding them. Addition of those are stored in new node, and again that new node is added to the heap again. Okay, and then again it will take minimum from those. This will be repeated until the sequences are there in the merge. Sequences are there to merge in the heap. Okay, getting? हे काय केलं जातंय? न्यू नोड काय करतंय? स्टोअर मीन 1 प्लस मीन 2. हे न्यू नोड नंतर पुन्हा हिप मध्ये ऍड करायचं आपल्याला. ओके, पण कुठं करायचं ऍड? त्याचं जे प्रॉपर प्लेस आहे न्यू मीन 1 आणि मीन 2 साठीच, तिथे ते स्टोअर करायचंय. पुन्हा फंक्शन कॉल केलं जाईल. पुन्हा मीन 1 जे काही असेल ते असाइन केलं जाणार आहे. मीन डेल फंक्शन त्याला रिट्राइव करणार आहे. पुन्हा दुसरा जो न्यू नोड असणार आहे त्याला मीन 2 पण तसाच असाइन होणार आहे. ओके, so and again that whatever this new node will be there, that will be added into heap data structure. Okay, this is the end of our means this merge pattern. End of algorithm is there. Again that heap new node is added in the heap. Okay, algorithm is here, and its time complexity we have seen is the log n, big of log n. Now with the help of example we will see how it will go. Consider the sequence 3, 5, 9, 11, 16, 18, 22. Find optimal merge pattern for this data. Okay, now how the solution is there? See, 3, 5, 9, 11, 16, 18, 20. Again this should be sorted. The requirement for this merge pattern is this list should be sorted. This list should be sorted. At each step, merge the two smallest sequences. Given sequence is 3, 5, 9, 11, 16, 18, 22. जर हे सॉर्टेड नसते तर पहिल्यांदा आपल्याला सॉर्ट करून घ्यायला लागले असते. ओके, Merge the two smallest sequences and sort in ascending order. See here, 3 and 5 are taken. Its addition is 8, 3 and 5. It was there in the this one, left child and right child. You can see here. Left child is mean 1 and right child is mean 2. Getting? Ata ह्याची addition already it is there in ascending order. Okay, 9 पेक्षा 8 लहान आहे. ही जर ऍडिशन जास्त आली असती तर आपण ते असेंडिंग ऑर्डर मध्ये पुट केलं असतं. ते आपण नेक्स्ट बघूयात काय होतं ते. 8, 3, 5 and as it is the next list is there 9, 11, 16, 18, 22. Okay, it is the step 2. Then what is the step 3? Merge the two smallest sequences and sort in ascending order. What the two sequences are next? 8 and 9. Okay, 8 and 9. These are the smallest one, but it becomes 17. So 11, 16, 17, 18, 20. This should be the sequence. Here we can see 11, 16 and 17. 17 constitutes of this 8, 9. Okay, this 8 consists of 3 and 5. So the sequence becomes 11, 16, 17, 18, 20, like this. Okay, now again merge the two smallest sequences and sort in ascending order. Two smallest sequences are 11 and 16. It becomes 27. Where the 27 goes? At the last place. Okay, so how does it become there? 17 is the same structure, 8, 9, 3, 5, 18, 20 and 27. 27 is again consisting of 11 and 16. Okay, like this. Then again we will take the next two smallest numbers, which are 18 and 17. It becomes 35. 35 again comes at the last place. So how it will be? 20, 27, 27 consisting 11 and 16. 35 is here, 17 and 18. And we know how 17 is there, 8 and 9. 8 is for 3 and 5, like this. Now again we will take two smallest numbers, 20 and 27. It becomes 47. Here we have given like this, 35 and 47. 17, 18, 8, 9, 3, 5. That we already know. And 47 is consisting 20 and 27. 27 is consisting with 11 and 16. Okay. So now which is the remaining? Only 35 and 47. So what is there for 35 and 47? It becomes 82 and the remaining three as it is. 35 consisting 17 and 18. Then this one 17 is 8 and 9. 8 is 3 and 5. Here in 47, 20 is there, 27 is there. 27 is consisting of 11 and 16. Getting 3, 5, 9, 18, 20, 11 and 16. These are the original sequences that we got there. And what is the total time taken is these one, 8 plus 17 plus 27 plus 35 plus 47 plus 82, which is equal to 260. Okay, it is the optimal merge pattern. What we have to do there is minimize the time or minimize the comparisons. Okay, so what we do, we sorted the list and then we go for arranging them in ascending order and adding the two smallest sequences there. Okay, continuously we are adding, means taking them from heap, adding them and again putting in the heap or list. Getting? This is the optimal merge pattern. Now, the last bit of this chapter is single source shortest path. Okay, we will complete this today. So we will be completing our uh, uh, first section. Okay, and don't worry, I will revise your remaining things once again. So single source shortest path is the last bit for this last unit of first section. How the single source is calculated? The single source shortest path problem consists of finding the shortest paths between a given vertex V and all other vertices in the graph. Algorithms such as breadth first search for unweighted graphs or Dijkstra algorithms solve this problem. Okay, single source shortest path. In that we are going to see is Dijkstra algorithm. Okay. Now we will see what is the Dijkstra algorithm. In single source shortest path, what we are taking a node, and from that node we are calculating its shortest distance from that node. Suppose 5 nodes are there, A, B, C, D, E, and from A we are calculating the shortest distance for all, from A to B, A to C, A to D, and A to E, like that. Okay. Now what the Dijkstra's algorithm is? Given a source vertex S from a set of vertices V in a weighted diagram where all its edge weights W and its parameters are U, V are non-negative, find the shortest path weights D of SV from source S for all vertices V present in the graph. Okay. DSV means what? D means we have to calculate the distance or shortest path giving the weights from source to destination, and destination is what? All other vertices in the graph. Okay. We will first first we'll go for the algorithm here. For initialization, that distance will be 0. Then set of vertex will be there, set of vertices will be q there, means one by one we are visiting the vertices. Okay, so that set will be q. Then for each vertex v in the graph, if v is not equal to source, source काय करणार आहे आपण? एकच सोर्स पकडणार आहोत. In Dijkstra's, what it is there? Only one source vertex is there. And V is what? V is destination vertex. Okay. Vertice, but destination vertices are many in number. Means suppose 5 vertices are there. A is suppose source vertex. Then B, C, D, and E are the destination vertices. So if V is not equal to source, distance of V is equal to infinity, because it is unknown distance for the initialization purpose, or at the start we don't know what is there. The distance there from source to that destination V, it is, we don't know, so it is assigned as infinity. And previous of V, that is undefined, predecessor of V, because from source vertex, we are finding the distance to that V. Okay, so that predecessor also we don't know at the first. So what we are doing is there is previous also it is undefined. What we are doing there, q dot add with priority V comma distance of V. Okay, in that q, set of q means set of vertices which is q, we are adding, what we are adding, uh, priority means V and distance of V, which the minimum distance V is the vertex. Okay, and distance of V is the distance of that V from source. What distance of V is? Distance of this vertex V from source, that we have to add in the queue. But this distance should be minimum. Okay, this distance should be minimum. So how that minimum distance we are going to calculate is that we will see with the example also. First we'll see what is there in the algorithm. While q is non-empty, okay, means something is there in the queue, u is equal to q dot extract min. U is remove minimum. Extract means what we are doing here. You can see here 0 is our source vertex and all other distances as given in the algorithm are defined as the infinity. Okay, means from A to B, A to C, A to E and A to D, we have to deal with the shortest distances. At the first we don't know them, so they are given as the infinity. And this set is empty set at the first. Here we can see. For each neighbor V of U that is still in Q, this parameter alt is equal to distance of U plus length of U comma V. Okay, distance of U means distance of vertex U, which is neighbor of vertex V. Okay, from source vertex plus length of U comma V. Jar, suppose here A and B is not minimum, then what we have to do is we have to go from A to E and then E to B. Okay, that this sentence is means this statement is dealing with this. What we have to do is just we have to calculate the distances and which is the minimum one that we have to keep there. Means this A to B is 10, which is not minimum because we are getting another one as A to E and E to B, which is equal to 4. So in that case, U vertex is this E and B vertex is V. Here we can see in this alt is equal to distance of U plus length of UV. If alt is less than distance of V. Now this alt parameter is less than distance of V. It is distance of V is assigned to alt and previous of V will be assigned to U. What will be there in the next? This is U and this is V. Then again for next node to go, this B will be assigned to U and C will be assigned to V. This process, entire process will be performed there. Okay, and what it is here, Q dot decrease priority means Q is what? Q is we know is the set of vertices, and one by one from set of Q, one by one nodes will get decrease. Okay, here one is getting decrease. V is decreased. Then U is neighbor of V. We considered that. After completing the process of U, then we assign V to the next node and U to the neighbor node of that, which was V in this case. Okay, means here see, हा सोर्स नोड आहे. पहिल्यांदा ई हा डेस्टिनेशन होता, त्याचं डिस्टन्स कॅल्क्युलेट झाल्यानंतर काय आहे, हा यू आहे आणि हा व्ही आहे. ओके, ए टू बी चं डिस्टन्स आपल्याला कॅल्क्युलेट करायचंय, हा व्ही आहे. नेक्स्ट स्टेप मध्ये काय होणार आहे, जेव्हा आपण ए टू सी चं डिस्टन्स कॅल्क्युलेट करणार आहे तेव्हा यू कोण असणार आहे, बी यू होणार आहे आणि सी व्ही होणार आहे. गेटिंग? वन बाय वन वी आर going to change the nodes U and V, and according to that we are going to calculate the shortest path. Okay, it was about the algorithm. With the help of example we will see. Consider the following graph. We will start with vertex A. So vertex A has distance 0 and the remaining vertices have undefined infinite distance from the source. Let S be the set of vertices whose shortest path distances from the source are already calculated. Okay, S for this stage is empty because we don't know what is there. At the first step, initially S contains source vertex, so S is equal to A. A is source vertex. From A we are going to calculate the shortest path, so S will contain A. What is there in the next step? See, we start from source vertex A and start relaxing A's neighbors. Okay, A's neighbors, who are there? B and E. Since vertex B can be reached from a direct edge from vertex A, update its distance to 10, weight of edge AB. Similarly, we can reach vertex E through a direct edge from A. So we update its distance from infinity to 3. Okay, काय केलं आपण इथे, A to E आणि A to B. 10 आणि 3 डायरेक्ट एजेस आहे. मग बी ला काय असाइन झाली व्हॅल्यू 10, बिकॉज इट इज मिनिमम ऑफ इन्फिनिटी अँड 10. त्यातलं मिनिमम काय आहे 10 आहे. सो बी ला कुठली व्हॅल्यू असाइन झाली 10. देन ए टू ई मिनिमम ऑफ इन्फिनिटी अँड 3 विच इज इक्वल टू 3. येस और नो? 3 मिनिमम आहे. सो ई ला कुठली व्हॅल्यू असाइन झाली 3. What is there in the next? After processing all outgoing edges of A, we next consider a vertex having minimum distance. B has a distance of 10 and E has a distance of 3. Okay. And all remaining vertices have distance infinity. So we choose E and push it into set S. Okay. What we did there, A to B distance, it is 10, which is maximum, and A to E is 3. E3 ला असाइन झालेला आहे ऑलरेडी. मग आपण काय केलं, ई चे व्हर्टायसेस चेक केले, ई चे नेबर्स चेक केले. ओके, म्हणून एस मध्ये आपण ई हा नोड ऍड केला. ई चे नेबर्स कोण आहेत, बी आणि डी, आणि सी पण आहे, डायरेक्ट एज आहे सी ला. बट अगेन इन दॅट व्हॉट इज देअर, E to B is minimum. E to B is minimum, which is equal to 1. ओके, मग बी ची सध्या व्हॅल्यू काय आहे 10 आणि आता काय झाली 3 + 1. मिनिमम काय आहे 10 आहे का 4 आहे 4 आहे. सो बी ला कुठली व्हॅल्यू असाइन झाली 4. ओके, A2 is 3 which was already given. E to B we took it as 4. Okay, so what it became minimum of 10 and 3 + 1 which is equal to 4. Okay, from E to D what it is there, we can reach there from E to C and E to D. What will be the distances for E to C? Minimum of infinity. C आणि D ला अजून काही असाइन झालेलं नव्हतं, इन्फिनिटीच होतं लास्ट स्टेजला. सो इन्फिनिटी अँड 3 + 8, this 3 and this 8, 3 + 8 is equal to 11. मिनिमम काय आहे त्यामधलं 11 आहे, ते घेतलं. देन from E to D means A to E is 3, E to D is 2 which is equal to 5. So what is their minimum for D, infinity or 5? It's 5. So D will be assigned with 5 now. Okay, so in the next step what we can see here is A is source vertex which is 0, E is 3, B is assigned as 4 because here we can go from A to E and E to B. Okay, so and C is 11 and D is 5. In the next step what it is there, we repeat the process till we have processed all the vertices, that is set S becomes full. S मध्ये काय आहे आता A आणि E होतं लास्ट स्टेजला, मग त्याच्यामध्ये काय ऍड करायचं आपल्याला B, because we have reached to B via E, A, E and B. Okay, A, E and B. B is now 4. Getting? आता B चे नेबर्स चेक करायचे. काय आहेत B चे नेबर्स? B to C आणि B to E. ओके, E ऑलरेडी आपण व्हिजिट केलेलं आहे, त्यामुळे ते कन्सिडर नाही करायचं. We will consider is B to C. Okay, and its value is 2. Okay, B to C value is 2. Getting? So what does C will become? Minimum of 11 or 4 + 2. 4 + 2 means what? 3 + 1 + 2, that is 6. Minimum of 11 and 4 + 2. 4 + 2 is 6. मिनिमम काय आहे त्यामध्ये 11 आहे का 6 आहे? 6 मिनिमम आहे. सो सी ला काय असाइन होणार आहे 6. ओके, ई ला काय आहे? ई चे काय आहे? मिनिमम ऑफ 3 आणि 4 + 4. 4 + 4 कुठून देतोय तो? बी ला 4 आहे आणि प्लस इथून बी टू ई यायला 4, त्यातलं मिनिमम काय आहे 3च आहे. सो A to E will be considered as 3 only. Okay, now the set S becomes A, E, B. Now next is 3 vertices झालेले आहेत A, E आणि B. मग त्याच्यानंतर आपण कन्सिडर करणार आहोत नेक्स्ट व्हर्टाइस ऍज D. ओके, बी पासून काय केलं आपण? बी पासून बघितलं आपण इट इज गोइंग इन द बोथ द डायरेक्शन्स. ई हा 3 ला असाइन झालेला आहे. सो नेक्स्ट आपण जो काही कन्सिडर करणार आहोत सोर्स वर्टेक्स तो आहे डी, and that is added in this set A, E, B, D. ओके, डी कन्सिडर करतोय आपण इथे. तर डी चे नेबर्स काय आहेत? फक्त D to C. ओके, फक्त D to C आहे हा neighbor D चा, because only one outgoing edge is there from D to C. त्यातलं minimum काय आहे 6 आणि 5 plus 7, because D is already 5 and this 7. Okay, this 7. 6, 5 plus 7 यातलं minimum काय आहे 6 आहे. So C ची व्हॅल्यू 6च राहणार आहे. Getting? सो डी ऍड झालेला आहे AEBD आणि तो रीच होतोय. कसा रीच होतोय? AEBC 3 plus 1 plus 2. Okay, AEBC. We just checked for this D to C, but it is not minimum. Okay, minimum is this one, A, E, B, and C. Then we considered the last node, that is C. C चे neighbor nodes कोण आहेत? D, only D, which is 9. Then again we considered minimum of 5 and 6 plus 9, which is equal to 5. Minimum काय आहे 5 का 15? It's 5. 15 कसं आलं? C 6 आहे आणि plus ही H 9. So 6 plus 9 is equal to 15. पण त्यातलं मिनिमम कुठलं आहे? 5 आहे. 5 कसं रीच होतंय? AED, which is equal to 5. Now S is AEBDC. Okay, all the vertices are there in the set S. Now see here, what the solution we concluded here is, A is source vertex, its distance from itself is 0, and from A to E minimum distance is 3. E, B, C, and D are the destination vertices. Minimum distance from A to E is 3. Minimum distance from A to B is 4. That is AEB. Okay, 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. Then minimum distance from A to C is 6. How it is? A to E, E to B, and B to C. 3 plus 1 plus 2 is equal to 6. And the last vertex, destination vertex is D. Its shortest path from source vertex is 5. How it is? A, E, and D, which is equal to 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Okay. Dijkstra's algorithm runs in big O of E dot log V time like Prim's algorithm. Here, E is the total number of edges and V is the graph number of vertices. Number of vertices are there, which is equal to V, and E is number of edges there. Okay. Total number of edges we are going to take is only which are giving us the minimum distances. Okay. A to E, E to B, B to C, then E to D, like this. Okay. It is end of our third unit, in which we almost have covered all the bits. It was a knapsack problem. Then job sequencing with deadlines. There was some problem with its algorithm. We will surely cover that one also. Then minimum cost spanning trees in that Prim's algorithm, Kruskal's algorithm. And then optimal storage on tapes was there. In that single tape and multiple tape, we both have covered. And then optimal merge pattern and single source shortest path, which contains the Dijkstra's algorithm. All these bits we have covered. Any problem from your side? Yes. Yes, any problem from your side? See, some university instructions are there. that for the December end, you will have as the semester end. So we have to speed up like that. Date may extend, but that we don't know. So here it is. I hope you all have understood the third unit, that is greedy methods. Yes.
Ma'am, can you share detailed notes of all the 3 chapters?
Yes, sure. For second and third, I will give. And for the first chapter, I have to prepare my own, because then I will share with you for the fourth chapter. First, tell me, are you getting something? Means just as your feedback.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. For the second and third, I have I think I have shared second chapter notes with you. Means whatever.
PPTs.
Yes. That PPTs I have shared with you. For this third unit, I will share with you after some time only. Okay, some are demanding share once again for the second unit also. Okay, I will share with you, not a problem. And for third unit also, I will share in half an hour, say. Okay, all of you write your attendance in chat box. Some are asking for handwritten notes. Actually, I don't have big handwritten notes with me. Okay, so shall we stop here? All of you have written their attendance.